Good morning all the students and Assalamu alaikum. Let's continue with Python. So far what we have had was the introduction of Python, and today we'll be having the detailed overview, and we'll also check how to use and why to use IDLE. Right, so far what I have said, and each and every one of you to have downloaded this file right here, executable from python.org/downloads. And after you have downloaded and installed the software, which is not much, but it's maximum of 25 MBs, right, and 25 MB should not be any bother. And despite of the fact, I know that you're running low speed internet right here at this moment in time, but yeah, still 25 MB is very well downloadable. Right, so after considering and taking that everyone has downloaded, let us take on and carry on with Python training. And after downloading, you will see Python being downloaded, Python 3.7, and you will also see Python IDLE being downloaded, right? So let me open IDLE. What is IDLE? It's not only to compile, let's say about 1 + 1 2. No, you can write many different things here. You can write a long code, you can write short code, but yeah, we'll have to understand basics. What we tend to do is jump to advanced material so quickly that we forget, right? We still have to do an interview preparation. If you do not understand basics, and if you do not thoroughly understand basics, we'll not be good at advanced things, right? So to understand advanced, we need to be patient, and we need to be patiently listen to the instructor and follow all the instruction of your instructor, so that we can carry on with the trainings and get benefited from one way or the other, right? And we have taken one suggestion of one of your students, that we should take a note of every single thing and create a PDF file of the class and upload it. So we'll be uploading the PDF file, and we'll keep note of each and everything, and we'll make that file downloadable and open to all the guys, so that you guys can download the file and practice back home. After you go through the file, you can go through the file 2, 3, 4 times and practice, unless you become familiar of the code and unless you become familiar of the technology that we guys are using here in Jammu and Kashmir, right? So let's get started, right? So it's going to be the complete program. So we are not going to make it a crash course, or rather we're not going to cut short. We are going to go as deep as possible, and we are going to cover basics as slowly as possible, right? Because there are many programs you can find, learn Python in 10 days. So it's not that easy, right? So there are 3 requirements to be a computer professional, and thorough computer professional requires to be patient, and number 2 to be patient, and number 3 again to be patient. And those are 3 requirements for becoming a computer and IT professional, in programming especially. Okay, so after taking your advice, and after taking your requirements and into considerations, right, and we will be making a PDF file. So before we make a PDF file, let me recap what we have learned so far. We learned that Python can be used for the following things. Number 1 thing I said, machine learning. And number 2 I said, graphical user interface. Number 3 I said, software development. And number 4 was web application development, right? Number 5, data sciences, including everything, and including data sciences and data analytics, right? And many more different things. What is machine learning, right? So it's a misnomer that everyone has understood, or maybe misunderstood at times. No, the prior duty of a programmer is to learn programming not for the sake of programming, but for the sake of becoming software developer, right? So that is a motto that we need to be software developers. And what is machine learning? Machine learning is making efficient softwares, not only making softwares but making efficient softwares. First we will learn how to make softwares, and then we are going to learn how to make efficient softwares, right? So that is here, making softwares efficient so that they respond in a very nice manner. And that particular thing is also known as artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has two types. Like we have supervised learning and unsupervised learning, that we are going to learn in concurrent classes as we progress with the class. Alright, so far what we have learned, we have downloaded the Python, we have installed Python, we have understood that it can be used for these things, and we have also understood it is a GPL, which is general purpose language, and Python is not compiled. Python is interpreted, right? So Python is not compiled, but it is interpreted, right? And you have to understand this logic, and it is object oriented. So you'll ask us, sir, what is object oriented, is what is being interpreted. You will learn it slowly and steadily, right? As I said, Python is not a new language. It came in 1989, and it's only in 1995 that it became famous, right? And it came 2 or 3 years before Java. Now it's becoming famous because scientists do not want to spend much time in learning programming language, and those who come fresh do not want to spend time in learning new programming language, so they require some easy language. And yeah, Python is much simpler and it's much simpler than C, much simpler than C++ and Java. That is why now CBSE has added Python programming language in the syllabus. Now it's as easy as that. It's kids and it's child's job, right? And as I said, the version of Python that we will be using, Python 1.0, was launched in Jan 1994. And Python, I'm making a file for you guys so that I can note down everything. Python 2.0 was launched in October 2000. Remember, whenever you face an interview, they ask you these things, right? Do you know your job, right? Do you know your programming language? So the slogan for the day is know what you do. Know what you do means that you should not come under, we have many students who have come under influence, like, okay, where are you going? I have a group, someone has started Python free training course, they will be certifying. Yes, without having any aim is not going to give you success, right? So you should not fall under the influence, right? Many students, when they pass their board exams, they may call the friend, right? They may either come under the pressure of their parents, right? Why have you chosen why have you taken medical as subject? Oh, my parents were insisting me. Why have you taken commerce as subject? My parents insisted me. Or the other one is someone who will say, oh, because my friend chose commerce, I am also choosing commerce. No, you guys should try and find interest in what you do, right? So the moment you find and cherish and feel that excitement in what you do, finally, if you make that as your profession, you get successful, inshallah. All my prayers and praises are with you guys and with all of you who basically have that passion of doing something, but they require to be on the right path, and path is our duty, and to walk on the path is yours, right? And Python 3.0 and all words and Python 3.0 was launched in I forgot, December 2008, and since then, right, or since then we are using we use 3. We had 3.1, 3.2, 3.5, 3.6, and now each and every one of us here will use Python 3.7. So this is what our target is. I will encircle it so that this is the version that we have to focus on, and this is the fully launched version readily available. Now carrying on with practicals. So we'll be doing practicals only now because nothing else is left here, right? Open IDLE I have two Python IDLEs open here, right? And I repeat, addition is done, subtraction is done, multiplication is done, division is done, floor division is done, and what is remaining? And always remember, this is called as float. What is the full form of float? Float is also known as floating point representation. I will write it down, right? And it's also called as integer division or floor division. This, you can say it's integer division because it's not giving decimal outputs, or you can say it is integer division. So let's carry on with the news today, right? Because language is something that you understand. If I say something that you don't understand, you will say, hey, you respond back, hey, something that you have said is not understood to me. For example, if I say 8 plus 9 and then I say minus, what is this minus doing, right? So I don't know, right? 8 plus 9 minus, so I don't understand. Or 8 plus 10, 8 plus 9 plus, so it gets invalid syntax. Syntax error means that something that you have typed is not understood by Python, right? Because the moment you write plus, it says, hey, wait a second, I'm expecting another value after this value in here, right? So if I say 8 plus 9, let's say 8 plus 9 plus 5, now you can get 22, right? But if I leave it like it is, let's say if I say only 8 plus 2, 8 plus 2, right, that is fine. But if I say 8 plus 2 into, now we know that Python is expecting another value here. If you don't supply value, you're getting language error. Syntax error means there is problem in what you have written. You have not written a proper language. So this is also known as an syntax error, right? So I'll keep on documenting these things, and not only documenting, I'll keep on also writing the definition, right? And I'll keep the link, I'll keep the download link in the description so that you guys can download. What did I say about this, right? Yeah, I said this is called as what? Please tell me. Float, which is the full form of float is floating point. It keeps on floating here and there, right? So it is floating point representation. Now why is it floating point representation, right? Because it keeps on jumping here and there, it keeps on going here and there. For example, if I say 189890 divided by 5544, right? So I'm getting, you can see that now we are having floating point after 2 digits. Here we had only after 1 digit, right? So it is floating point representation. Now the floating point here is after 2, right? Or you can tell any decimal value, you can call it as float value as well, right? And what did I say about this? Please tell me. I said this is also called as, yes, tell me, integer division and floor. I don't want you guys to watch just for the sake of watching, right? I want you guys to learn rather than study. I want you guys to get trained rather than being taught. Why is that so important? Because if you go out in the market tomorrow, right, and then you will say, hey, sir has taught me this, but I could not remember, right? In interviews and whenever you face that interview in your life, you may be asked and you may get reminded of this class. So okay, and now the third thing, if you remember, I'll tell you only one thing. We have already been to schools. We have all been to schools, right or wrong. We remember one technique of schools, and that technique is known as what? Pardon me for not having equal partitions. So we have B. Yeah, please tell me. What am I about to write is something that you can sense, but you do not have an idea of. So B, O, D, M, BODMAS. Now you all know what BODMAS is, isn't it? Right? So since you all know what BODMAS is, right, so you'll apply the same rule right here. First brackets will come, then orders will come, then divide will come, then multiplication will come, then add will come, and then subtract will come. So let me show you one example of BODMAS so that you understand it in a much better way. Okay, let's carry on with this. So let me show you the example here. For example, if I do something like this, 8 plus, okay, let me say 8 plus 10 into 3. Now please tell me, right, what is the answer? Please expect the answer. What do you think the answer is, right? Apply BODMAS. Now first is BODMAS, brackets, 10 plus 8 is equal to 18, and 18 into 3, and then you will get the answer. Oh, I did something wrong. Let me do it again. I said 8 plus 10 multiplied by let's say about 3, and you are getting 54. So this is what you can solve, and this is what you can type, and you can type it very easily right here, right? And we have some features, some new features, the features that make Python very famous, and those features are, one of the feature is here. You can call this as 2.3. It's called as power of 2 raised to power 3, that is 8, right? So double star means power of, and then you give, this is the power of operator, and this is the power by, and this is power to. Power to 2 times by 3, so raised to power, right? You can see the raised to power 2 has 3, so 2 into 2, 4, right? And 4 into 2 is equal to 8. So this is called power of, right? Okay. And second thing, I showed you already, but I'll show you again because I have to document it for you. 10 /3 will give you the quotient, and 10 modulus 3 will give you the remainder. So the quotient is 3 and the remainder is 1, right? Now if I type something, now we know that these are called integer values, right? Okay, so let me document it and define what integer values are, right? Define what integer values are. They remain same, and there is a bit of difference between other programming language and this language here. I will document it for you, and this is known as power of, right? So this is power of, fine. Okay, and second is here QUOTIENT, that is the quotient, and remainder. So we have 3 different things here, right? We have the quotient and we have the remainder. Here we have the quotient, and here you will find the remainder, right? Okay, I hope you have understood this. Okay, let me make you understand what I hope I'm going slow. Hey guys, let me know in the comment section if I'm going fast or slow, right? I told you that you're not in front of me. You're not in front means I'm not watching you guys, and since you're not in front of me, I need to see how attentive you guys are. That is going to somehow encourage the instructor, as I keep on saying that, right? So the more you encourage your instructor, the more instructor will make better content, will make understandable content, and will try and spend as much time as he wants for you guys, because our purpose is at least you guys should learn, right? And not only learn for the sake of learning, it should help you the entire life, right? And then for that you need to at least acknowledge and let us know if we can help you in delivering some other, someone called me and said, okay, sir, it would be better if we make PDF files. Absolutely good. I was just thinking of that. I took it immediately, right? So you need to get in, and you need to do your job, and you need to also help us in creating better content. Please comment down and like if you want, and comment if you want any changes. Even if you don't want any change, you can yet comment, it's okay, right? And if I'm going too fast, please tell me, and those who think I'm going too slow, please tell me, so that we can make better content for you guys. Right. So now now I'll tell you containers and data types. Now, anything in the computer is known as data, right? We know that, we know it from school. You remember those school teachers used to tell us data, 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 right? Everything that is in the computer is data. So we don't have that data base today, as we are not interested in that. But yeah, I'll tell you a few data types. We have integer as a data type. We have string as data type. We have char as data type. We have float as data type, right? Filhal, we are going to just put light on these, or let's say boolean as data type. So we are going to put light on these data types as of now, and then in the near future we are going to learn more data types, right? Integer takes values from 0 to 9, and we have string that takes values from, right? Or let us define char first and then define string. So what is char? Okay, char can take, right, values from A to Z, or capital A to small z, but only a single character, right? Only a single character. That means, imagine char cannot take more than one character. If I say F, that is char. If I say FC, it doesn't remain char because I have given two characters, right? Okay, string takes, so I'll just color it down for you guys so that you do not have any problem, because it creates readability problems if we have same colors. Okay, takes values from 0 to 9, values from A to Z or capital A to Z, but only a single character, right? Takes collection of characters or even a single one. It can take one character or it can take collection of characters, right? So I can give you example, right? So I can give you example C. It's a character, right? One character. I cannot take two. I cannot give two characters right here. Or we can give an example of string, right? Hello. Now, how many characters does a string have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 0, 1, you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. HELLO. What is char? A single character starting from A to Z, 0 to 9. What is integer? 0 to 9. It can take anything. 0 to 9 can be, it does not have any limit. You can say 100 is also a character, 200 is also a, 100 is also an integer, 200 is also an integer, right? And string is collection of characters. Example is given here. Now, what is float? As you already know, float in decimal, right? For example, 5.6, right? 2.2, right? So decimal values can be given and taken by float. And what is boolean? Boolean can take only two things, true or false, right? A boolean can either be boolean value can either be true, or a boolean value can either be false, right? Have you understood it? Right. So for example, now what are these? These are containers. You can call them, right, containers, right? So why do you call them containers? Now see, why do we have specific and different containers for different values? For example, if you go out to buy milk from the market, there's a specific type of container that you are going to carry, right? You're not going to carry a basket with holes to buy milk, no. Right? You may get a glass, or maybe a jug, or maybe polythene in that case, right? Or if you go out in the market to buy bread, so you're not going to go with glass or jug. You don't get bread in jug. So that means there's a specific container. For milk, we have glass, we have jug, and all the containers. And for bread, we have a specific container, a basket, right? Or anything like that, or a bag we can take, right? So similar is the case with Python and all the programming language. So we have different containers for different values. So imagine int being milk cannot be taken in basket. That's why 0 to 9 cannot go to basket. For example, in that case, oh my god, what am I talking of? Baskets, milks, right? I need a tea. We should have tea. Hey, by the way, I have an advice for you guys. Okay, since every one of us is staying back home, right, amid this 2019 COVID lockdown, so you guys do not get fat, right? Because we tend to eat much when we are at home. We tend to increase weight, right? So spend all the energy, because oh yeah, I'm going to make you get rid of some weight, because mental activities and the activities related to brain, right, are meant to make our body lose some good amount of calories, right? But still you can eat less and work hard apart from the classes. Okay, and let's come back to class. We have had milk and we have had bread also, so now our stomach is full and we'll concentrate on the class. Jokes apart. All right, so those are containers. Let me show you an example of one container right here. Okay, right, if I say 10, it is taken, you get 10. Now what if I say A? It throws an error, right? What is this A? It's not giving me any proper response for this A, right? Why are we getting this error? Now if I say A in quotes, I get exactly A in quotes, right? If I say, okay, if I say hello world, why doesn't it show hello world, right? So there are two different containers right here. I can say, right, so for example, let us define a container. We have integer type of container. I will say int a is equal to 10. Okay, let me solve the error here. It will remain in your brains. So string is given in hello world. It is given in quotes, right? Double or single quotes, it doesn't matter. In you know, one of the best things about Python is, right, it doesn't matter, right? So whether you give double quotes or single quotes, both are going to be taken as string or both are going to be taken as integer. So it doesn't matter what you give. I can say hello world. Now always remember, string or char is meant to be given in quotes. Integer values can be given and directly. Now what if I want to store values, right? For example, I declare a variable int a, or I don't declare it to be integer. I'll say a is equal. That is the magic. That is the magic of Python here. You know why? Right? Because Python has a deep meaning here. Variables in Python, you know, they are basically they get the type automatically. So they are type independent. They can sense the type of you know, the value automatically, right? And for that I'll give you an example, right? If I say a is equal to 10, now tell me what is in a has 10, right? I say b is equal to 20. What is in b has 20, right? And c is equal to a plus b. Now what is in c? Okay, let us operate it here. Let me do an operation. Let us open it up and do a dissection, right? So let's do dissection of this here, and let me define the working here, right? Okay, so let me define the working of this in here. And because since I have used this methodology of creating PDF files, and I have used you know, I'm trying to go a bit slow so that each and every one of us can understand, right? So the class duration can be elongated and extended, right? So you should not feel offended, right? Because you should appreciate creating bigger classes, larger videos than shorter. But still, yeah, because of our own what you call that as unlucky we are that we do not have that luxury of having high-speed internet. But nevertheless, you know, where there's a will, there's a way, right? We're fighting it out, inshallah, and God and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to help us in this case also, right? So let's carry on, okay? And what we saw, that A is going to give us error, right? So string and char and character, right, values will always, right, string and character values will always go inside loops, right? Sorry, not loops, I am somewhere else, pardon me. Will always go inside quotes, right, like this, or single quotes. You can either mention double quotes, or single quotes are also going to do your job, right? So it's empty character or string is going to throw an error, right? Similar is the case here, right? So it will go inside quotes. I'm marking them so that you go through. It's not necessary so that you can it's not necessary to watch the video 3 or 4 times or 5 times. You can download the PDF and follow the PDF while practicing for this class, right? And now I had to operate and do dissection of this. What is this A called as? This is called as a variable. What is variable? You'll come to know. Filhal, you can understand for the time being, right? You say this is a variable. And what is variable? Right? Variable is a container. Right? You know that process of mixing curd with milk? You require 2 containers, right? Okay. So this is a variable, and B is also a variable, right? And C is also a variable, right? So variable is a container that will contain your values, because you require, like I said, if you are getting bread, you require a container wherein you can keep that bread, you know. And if you're getting milk, you require a container wherein you can keep milk, right? So similarly, A is a variable right here, and B is again a variable, and C is a variable. And the signs here is equivalent to signs, right? They are known as, so this sign is known as ASSI, or we can say assignment operator, right? So this sign is known as an assignment operator, right? Why assignment? Because it is not is equivalent to. If you take it as mathematics, then A is equivalent to 10. Is A equivalent to 10? No, A has nothing. Is B equivalent to 10? No, B has nothing. So how does it work? Right? It works like this. A is equivalent to 10, right? So it works like this, right? It works from, let's say about, this is the right hand side RHS, and this is the left hand side LHS. So this works from RHS to LHS, right? So the work here is as that of RHS to LHS. It works from right hand side to left hand side. So whatever is towards left hand side, so I write the definition here. So here, right, so whatever value is towards the right hand side will be assigned to the variable at left hand side, right? So whatever value is towards the right hand side will be assigned towards the left hand side. That means the value towards right hand side is 10, and we are expecting 10 to be assigned to A. That means if I ask you what is in B, that B contains now 2, right? and what is in C? Addition of A plus B is in C, because assignment from right hand side to left hand side, right? Do you remember this? I repeat that the assignment takes place, from right hand side, and the assignment takes place from right hand side, and it goes to the left hand side, right? And a student asked me a question related Python. So I'll keep you I'm asking you with every video, sir, that idle Python app is used for what? Just to find our program is working, or what is just want to learn some basics? Can you please tell me working of the idle Python app? Now, first of all, everything that you see is not an app. Yes, every software cannot be an app, first of all. So Python is basically an integrated development environment, right? For example, when you sit in examination, they give you paper. You write your question, you write your answers in the paper, right? So this is related, and this is attached with the Python software, right? And this is where we will do programming. So this is our integrated development environment, an environment where we do programming. What do you mean by programming? Same things that we are doing. We learn many different things in programming, but Python IDLE is nothing but an environment where we write our Python programs, execute them, and get answers for them. And or you can say this is an environment where we ask questions to computer and we get back answers. And which computer are we asking questions to? We are asking questions to Python. And there is second way. I'll show you the second way also, but let me complete with this variable section, and hope I'll clear you all the doubts. And anyone who has a doubt can comment down in the comments. You can ask down in the comment section, and we shall be content enough and grateful enough, and as soon as possible we'll try and reply. If the reply is too long, we'll try and cover that reply in the next video. And all the legitimate questions shall be responded without any doubt, believe me. Now, what is 10? 10 goes to A, and A has 10, B has 20. Now, what is A plus B? That is 10 plus 20. What does C have? Because RHS will be added, will go to LHS. Now, if I say, let us say C, and there is another way of printing. I can say print, print C, right? If I do print C, I get 30. Or you can say C directly, doesn't matter, right? So I hope you have understood this part of variables, right? So variables will keep on repeating, right? So we'll keep on repeating this for the entire session, right? Till the times classes are going on, we have to deal with variables, right? So this is here RHS, LHS, right? And hence C will contain the values of A when added to B, right? Which is 30, right? Right? Have you understood? I hope you've understood. And the second way, the second question was asked by another student, and I love being asked. I love your passion. Carry on with your passion. Allah is with you, and we are with you, right? Inshallah, you will be best and better programmers in the near future. And the second thing is that why do we write line by line programs? Can't we write at the same time and execute them? Yes, why not? You can see it here. I can click on file and new. Now you have this new file in front of you, right at the same time. We do not terminate. I repeat, those who are linked with Java, C, C++, PHP, Perl, we do not terminate programs right here. But yeah, even if you do, there's no problem. Int A is equal to 10. I will say int B is equal to 20, and int, even if you do not write int, let's say, let's not write, define the type. Let's say A, B, and C is equal to A plus B, and I can say print A, right? You can terminate, no problem, right? And you can get errors as well, right? This is the Python shell, and you can save this file, save as, right? You can save them as Python files anywhere you want to save, Right, so I'll say class 1. I have saved this file as class 1, and you can run it over Python shell. Right, so to run the file, you click on run, or you can hit F5 directly and you get the answer 10. Right, and what you have seen so far, do not ask, right, because Python has something known as auto understanding features, right? So you do not need to define it, right? Which type of which type of variable are we talking of, right? So this is something that we need to understand in Python, right? And there are many things that we'll understand in the upcoming classes, right? And we have to understand one thing, that the type of the variable is automatically understood even if you do not define it, right? And you can see that I have not defined it here. I can even define it. The type is, because I'm supplying which value, integer type value, and integer is int. That means the type of container defined is int, the type of container defined here is int, and the type of container here defined is int. Remember the milk and bucket example? So int A will take only integer values, B will take only integer values, and C will take only integer values. Right hand side 10 goes to left hand side. Now 20, right hand side goes to B. Now A has 10, B has 20, total is 30, goes to C, which is also of type int. And when I say print A, I can run it by hitting F5, save, yeah. Okay, and you can see right here, we are getting invalid syntax right here, right? Because there are many things that we have to consider right here. So if I run it like this, save, now you can see we will get error here, right? So it understands the variables by the values you supply. Now you can see we are getting 10 right here. Now A has 10, B has 20, and C. Now sir, you may ask me, sir, you have written variable here. What is the meaning of variable? Why didn't you write container, right? It would have been better had I written it as container. So yeah, that is also possible. I could have written container here, but variable means something that varies, right? Variable means something that even can vary. For example, now if I say B is equivalent to 40, now what answer do you expect? I'll say here print let's say about C, which is the sum, and here I can say print C, which is the sum. Now see here, now when I print C here, C has A plus B, which is 10 plus 20, we should get 30. And if I print here C, we should also get 30, but B is being overridden here, B plus 40, or no, so B is equivalent to 40. Now it varies. Now you can see values may vary here, 30 and 30. But what happens here in Python, right? Things do not work like this, right? Because if we consider other programming languages, these things may vary, but in Python, value remains stable unless you basically break the rules. For example, if I break it, if I say C is equivalent to 40 right here, now you can see we are getting 30 and we are getting 40. But you'll say, sir, C had A plus B. Yes, C had A plus B, beta, but now C is having 40. You printed 30, A 10, B 20, A plus B 30 goes to C. You print out C. Now C contains 40. You print out 40, right? Now you can see the value of C has varied from here to here. Here it had 30, and now, and that is the magic of a variable, right? Because I'll give you again the same example. The fate or the destiny of your glass varies. You may have the same glass containing milk, and the next day the same glass may have water, the next day the same glass may have coffee, milkshake, orange shake. Don't take shake these days, but yeah, it can vary, right? So which is the case here, and exactly the case with that is the case with variables, and we do not terminate them like this, right? Even if you terminate them like this, so yet we don't have any problem. right? Termination of line. It's Python is intelligent enough to understand. Now see how intelligent Python is. Understood the value you have supplied is of type integer, understood the value here is integer, and has understood each and everything without even having any other terminators. Terminator means I'm terminating this line. So you should not be fond of terminators as long as Python is concerned. Python understands once you are going to next line, it understands that enter has been pressed, you are in the next line. So it takes this as a single statement, this will be taken as a the dual statement. So now if I do something like this, so we'll get it. If I do, okay, let me go ahead and click F5 and run. So this is going to create an error, right? If I give a bit of space and I say run, right? So we are still going to get an error. So what you are doing, you have not ended the statement. So in this case, if you run and edit your terminate your statement like this, then and only then you are going to work. So Terminator will only work when two statements are in a single line. This is the end of one statement. You have assigned 10 to A, fine, that's it. You have assigned 20 to B, fine, that's it. In case you want to have, it's better to have them in next line, so it's as easy as you want. So okay, let me define them here and create a PDF file for you as promised, right? That's why I say we are not someone who doesn't take student inputs, right? What we believe in is student is always the student is always ahead of us, and we are always behind the students. In order for any institution to be successful requires the success of students, right? So, and no institution can be successful without the success of students, right? Now please define them. So 10 is assigned to A, absolutely, yeah, 10 is assigned to A. What is happening here? 20 is assigned to B, fine, and the sum of 10 and the sum of 10 plus 20 is assigned to C. As simple as anything. You're printing the C, right? Here it varies. Variable data may vary, right? Which is why it is called variable. Now you take it variable. An ability to vary the value is known as variable, right? I hope you have understood this part also. Okay, and this is how we write all the statements and then run the program. Your question is answered, and IDLE is an integrated development environment which is required to talk to what is Python language? What is language? Talking to computer, and this IDLE is required to talk to computer, and we can use inline command entries, right? For example, if I say print C, I can still print 40. Why am I printing 40, not 30? Because remember that it had the value 40 at the end, right? And we write every single thing here, and we execute all the programs here, right? And we can have many integrated development environments. One of the best environment that all those inshallah all those who will learn Python like a pro and reach to data analytics, right, will see that we have this Anaconda navigator, and we use Jupyter Notebook for data analysis, and we have this VS Code, we have RStudio for machine learning and artificial intelligence, and this is also the advanced type of data or advanced type of integrated development environment that we use, right? And I'll show you a glimpse of this right here. Right, so this is how we do data analytics. So I was doing this data analytics on COVID-19. Right, you can see deaths and every single thing. Right, you can see data analytics in Python, right? And we use a different integrated development environment for that, and which is this Jupyter Notebook out of Anaconda Navigator. But since each and every one of you is a starter, we just started, right? We need to be patient. We need to count each and every day as one day. Count one day as at a time. Do not count and do not jump in, right? Because basics are very essential, right? Rather than being a partial programmer, it's better to be nothing or be a full programmer, not a partial programmer or not a partial programmer at least. And we do not do programming for the sake of programming. Our job is to do software development, and that too the level of machine learning and data analytics. And please let me know in the comment section if you want any change, and if you like, still let me know in the comment section and encourage us, and we shall be content and create a better content for you, and we'll keep on creating content for you guys. Until then, bye bye, take care, and please check the description section. I'll be uploading this file in the description. I don't want to give you too much because it's already been over 50 minutes, right? So we will increase 10 minutes every day. Like yesterday's class was as that of 40 minutes. Now we have 50 minutes. Tomorrow we may have it for 1 hour, and then we'll extend the duration as you guys become familiar with it. We will also try and increase, right? And since I know that the internet speed is not quite well, and many of you might not have downloaded Python yet, so I'll give you ample amount of time so that you can download Python, right? And what else? See you tomorrow at the same time, the same place. Until then, I hope all of you guys would practice and let me know about the lecture, right? Until then, bye bye, take care.